Welcome into Stugotz and Company on a Monday, a football Monday. We are presented by FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook. I don't know, is today a football Monday or is it a golf Monday? I'm not
Does
certain.
he look like he took offense?
I was going to say, if the Dolphins and Jets are playing on
Yes.
that day, it can't be a football day. Like it's not.
All right, put it on the poll, Mikey A. If the Dolphins and Jets are playing, can it be on Monday? Can it be a football Monday? It has to be phrased like that. If the Dolphins and Jets are playing on a Monday, can it be a football Monday? Both teams are 0-3. They'll play tonight. Izzy, what got your attention, most of your attention over the weekend? Because just gauging from our group text here, it seems like you were glued to the Ryder Cup.
That's what I texted about. But to be honest, the thing that really, really had my attention was, and your hat is really helping remind me here, is you left town for a reason. So go ahead and give me everything you got on Syracuse Duke that happened on Saturday.
I had no idea they were playing football. I wish they were playing basketball. That's all I have for you on Syracuse and Duke.
Yeah. That's the
Fran
same
Brown
line
was
that you had
embarrassed
before
at
you left,
home
by
by
the
the
way.
Dukies. I mean, how about that?
Okay. That's the same line that you had before you left.
Yeah.
I heard it on the Greg Cody show.
Yes.
So you're
Thank
not
you.
very slick there.
Yes.
But okay, so there is no info on Syracuse Duke. In that case, we can move on to the Ryder Cup because I was glued to it, right? Because the early guys did just enough, but a couple things drove me absolutely crazy, Stu. Bryson DeChambeau being a hero for getting a half a point and fighting back from 5 down. Dude, you were down 5. That's the problem. Like,
Yeah, but you were
that's the
down
problem.
5 against one of the best players in the world, and you did get a half point, and a half point was needed for the U.S. team. Like,
No,
to
a full
beat
point
down
was
5
needed.
strokes and to come back through 9 holes on one of the best players in the world was impressive. It
A
was.
full point was needed. Okay. And he had a couple opportunities. Patrick Cantlay, a little bit of a disappointment there, but
Yes.
whatever. It drove me crazy that DeChambeau got this heroic thing. And when he did play well, I want to say in foursomes or on Saturday, it was with Scotty Scheffler. And I think they both played pretty well, but you're with Scotty Scheffler, you got to do enough to win that match. And he didn't even do that. So it drove me a little nuts.
I would argue that if you're Scotty Scheffler, you need to deliver more than what you delivered over the weekend. I know he got the point yesterday in the one-on-one matches, but you need to be better. You cannot call yourself the greatest player in the world and be the number one player over the last 2.5 years in the world and come up short when an entire country is leaning on you. You can't do it, Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, I do give him credit for facing, Rory at the one everybody hated over there and facing him down and winning that one. But there was a lot of funny stuff there. There was a video afterward. I don't know if you saw this, and I don't know if we can throw that in post, but of the Europeans. And they did a terrible job with it, But they did this song that they asked Donald Trump, "Are you watching?" And they really hate that dude. Like, he showed up and, got mixed reviews or mixed sort of some applause, some boos. I thought I heard mostly applause out there. But then the Europeans doing that was hilarious. But the U.S. almost coming back made it interesting. There was just that little bit of a roller coaster there where it looked like Henley was going to get a point and it was going to come down to Colin Morikawa and who is it? Was it Burns at the end?
No. Well, they're on the same team. Sam Burns was. I'll look up the twosomes, but Burns
was the final one. Whoever he was
Burns
playing
can't
against.
play someone on the American team.
No. I was saying those are the last two. Those were the last.
Yeah,
two.
they were the last 2 Americans. Yes.
And so it almost, came to that, but then, Henley ended up tying, and it was a bit anticlimactic after all of that setup, and maybe they could come back. But the real issue here was something that I've learned yesterday for the first time.
Yes.
An envelope rule.
Yes.
Where if one player cannot play, which in this case it was Victor Hovland, who had a little crick in his neck.
Very good player, spent the night in the hospital, couldn't move his neck, couldn't move his back. He decided not to play and still got a half point. He got a half point for quitting. I mean,
crick in the neck. He had a crick in his neck. I saw him out there. I saw him. And you know what he did when the camera was next to him? He turned toward the camera with his neck. Okay, that dude was just fine.
It was like the Brady Bunch defense. Remember back in the day?
Yes.
Someone hurt their neck and they just threw a suitcase on the floor to see if the defendant would turn his neck because of the loud sound that he did. And that's how they won the case. I mean,
Genius. But he was there. And then the rule is that if somebody, you're going to have to help me out with this one, Stu. If somebody can't play, every team puts a player in an envelope. And if another team's player cannot play because of injury, then whoever you had in that envelope, the other team, then also doesn't play, and you just split the point?
yes, that's exact. Now, that rule has been in place for a while, whether you like the rule or not. No one cared about it because it didn't rear its ugly head until yesterday. So
Well,
no one made
it did, actually. Somebody, I read where when the Americans won, I forget, it was sometime in the 90s, they had a controversial issue there, too, because they had a player get into a car accident Saturday night and couldn't play Sunday. And they ended up splitting the point, and they won 14.5, 13.5.
Right.
If they ended up not doing that, then there would have been 14-14 perhaps, and Europe would have retained the cup.
You would agree a car accident is a more plausible and
Than a crick in
acceptable
the neck.
excuse than, hey, my neck hurts, right?
100%. Yes. And to me, it's an obvious answer, is it not? Like, have an alternate. Have somebody that's there and ready to go, just jump out the gates and, hey, I got this, Vic or whoever, right? So that way you don't have to give up a point or a half a point, and you actually stay true to the event.
Mikey A., what are you smiling about over there?
I love the idea of some multi-millionaire golfer who's like a world famous, just sitting there waiting to get called in from the bullpen.
Man.
Like, I hope they play Enter Sandman and he comes running down the fairway with
I
his
want it to be
putter
a
in his
mystery
hand, ready to
golfer,
go.
too. A mystery
Yes.
golfer. Yes, a mystery golfer.
And you saw Scotty Scheffler crying.
Yes.
You saw Bryson DeChambeau having feelings or whatever it is that he does.
This thing means a lot. You almost saw a fight on the 16th hole one day. I mean, this thing means
Exactly.
a lot to these guys, man.
So if you're going to tell me that you don't think that somebody wants to be that person that is going to run out and be like, I am a real American, and it would be amazing.
well, in
might not
yesterday's case,
happen.
it would have been
Hold
the
on,
European.
hold on.
Right.
I was gonna say we can't just. So what's the song that the Europeans come out to? Is it like
Yes.
Final Countdown by Europe? Like what are we doing here? Because this is important.
It's got to be one of those really like Irish, really tough, like Dropkick Murphys, like yeah,
but that's an American
get you going. Okay, but I mean, you don't think Ireland has a band similar?
Something by Foreigner.
Just hold on a second. Mikey A. put these on the poll. Will it forevermore be referred to as the Hovland rule? Because I believe that it will, even though Izzy cited an example, and he's right about this. No one made a big deal like they did yesterday, probably because the United States lost. That is why everyone is making a big deal. Put this on the poll, Mikey A. Did you feel bad for Harris English because his name was the name in the envelope? I mean, what a disaster. I felt so bad for Harris English because it became public knowledge that when you open the envelope, his name was the name. Basically, what the captain is telling you, Keegan Bradley is telling you in that spot, this is my worst player. This is my player I trust the least. Therefore, I will sacrifice this player in the event that Hovland fakes an injury. How about that? I mean,
Or, here's my other thought here. Did they put the name in the envelope that when they pulled it out, the fans would say, is he American? Is he on our team? Because Harris English might be the most European name of all of them. And so it's like, I didn't even know he was one of us. That's fine.
it's the first thing I thought. Harris English. He's on our team?
Yes. Him and Xander Schauffele. I'm always like, wait, is Xander Schauffele American? Okay.
Mikey A., put it on the poll. Did you know Harris English was American?
Clueless. But yeah, I definitely think you have to have a substitute. Like that's you can't just, I get it, giving up a point. If you get into a car accident, I understand, but why not have an alternate? Like I get like the All-Star game in the NBA. They're not going to have alternates day of, right? But they replace people if they get hurt leading into
but unlike
it.
the All-Star game, this thing has meaning. I'm agreeing with you, Izzy. There should be an alternate in place for each team or a couple of alternates in place in the event that someone does get hurt while golfing.
In that case, we're both just yelling at Mikey because he's the one who doesn't agree with us.
Right. Well, Mikey, you don't think there should be an alternate? I mean,
No,
you think a half point is acceptable for someone who quit? I mean,
it's absolutely not acceptable. The difference is the logistics of it are kind of what I find amusing. The logistics of having some, I mean, who would be the alternate? Who's the last one that was left off? You know, the European team or the American team?
I have no idea.
And them just sitting in the clubhouse, like staying loose, like it's Top Gun, and they're just waiting to be launched from from the what do you call the I can't even think of the word.
What just happened there, Top Gun?
I don't know.
I'm thinking hot dog cannon. What are you thinking?
I think he's talking about the
Aircraft
ship where they
carrier.
launched the planes from,
Yes.
the carrier.
Yes.
What happened to you there? I mean, I like the idea of Sergio Garcia always being in waiting. I do. Like,
There you go.
Like a cagey vet who needs to scratch out a half point or a point for Team Europe. You know
what
Could
I
you
like?
imagine the lights go down and Tiger comes out?
There you go.
Like, could you imagine?
I mean,
Okay,
Yes.
This is what I'm
in the
talking
red,
about.
in the red.
Yes. Now that I'm thinking about it, this is how they should do it anyway. I mean,
Or, I mean, 100%. But now here's the thing. It's not a surprise. Because then the guy would have to sit in the back like all by himself, like Jesus, and then like would maybe never come out until the end. It's like, oh, it was Phil Mickelson the whole time. That's great. No, I don't like that. I like where that has to be the captain is also the alternate. Keegan was his own snub, was he not? Like he could have been on the team.
Oh,
but
right.
Imagine if it's Tiger's your captain, if Phil's your captain, or Keegan again, whatever. It's like you need somebody. He tears off the shirt. I guess it's weird. He's already wearing the shirt. He buttons up the shirt and then he grabs his golf towel and he goes out to that first tee. I think that would be pretty dope.
Yeah, but some of these guys are so competitive. You could see like we're losing by how much, and then all of a sudden an accident befalls Harris English, and
Right.
all of a sudden Tiger's
Who
like,
do you
I
want
guess
in
I
that
have to
final
go in.
matchup? Harris English or Tiger Woods? Who sounds more American to you,
Yes.
Mikey A?
I would replace Tiger with just about anyone on the United States team yesterday, just for a round. I mean, seriously.
Ooh, not Cameron Young.
Except for Cameron Young, right?
That is my guy. I've been telling you, well, privately for a little while. Cam Young's like my favorite golfer. I don't know why. He doesn't do anything spectacular. He's just got a great demeanor, cool guy, pretty cool story that he's from Long Island and
Great
did
hair.
that over there.
Yeah.
And he got him off to such a great start with that clutch putt. He even got Justin Thomas in there having another one. It was a lot of fun. It just sucks that they didn't do anything.
Well, they didn't win, but they certainly came back in epic fashion yesterday. They gave themselves a chance to win it at the end. Do you think Keegan Bradley would have been the name in the envelope if Keegan Bradley were indeed playing? I mean, how did Keegan Bradley keep himself off the team? I don't understand that. Keegan Bradley was certainly deserving of being on that team, and he had to be thinking to myself, oh my God, I needed to be out there. My team needed me on the golf course, not sitting on the side of a green whispering, hey, this putt breaks a little left to right. They'd actually needed me to hit the fucking putts. I mean,
He was like,
one of the best putters in the world.
So you'd rather have him than who? Was it Henley who choked on that 18th?
Henley's fine. He's also one of the best putters in the world. Harris English, the guy in the envelope, who I felt terrible for because his name was in the envelope and everyone knew it.
You know what? I've said his name 4 times now. His name was in the envelope. I have no idea what he looks like. He could pop up as the 4th box on this Zoom right now. It would be like, who is this?
It's like if the NFL headed into every Sunday, if someone got hurt, they have inactives, they can't replace them, and like the opposing team has to have names in an envelope. If this guy can't play, then that guy can't play. I mean, I don't understand how you do that to somebody. Like I understand the rule; it's a terrible rule. I get it. I understand the envelope thing. The fact that it's revealed to the entire world that your captain thinks you're the worst of the team is not good. I mean, can you imagine that happening in youth sports?
And there's no way to talk around it if you're Keegan Bradley. There's no way to be like, well, we just thought in this particular instance, his matchup. No, we thought you weren't going to win. We thought you would.
No. What he's saying is, no, we'll take the half point from Harris English.
Would their
win.
best chance of getting that rule changed is Harris English himself campaigning throughout the year? Like, you guys exposed me as such a loser, and I never want that to happen to anybody else. I think he can get it changed.
Yeah. So do I. Football was played yesterday. Baseball playoffs are right around the corner. And Adnan Virk's going to join us in a sec. The great Adnan Virk is with us, and what I heard him arguing about with Izzy, not really arguing, just laughing, is Izzy is outraged about Glenn Powell. So let's start there because we haven't discussed football 35 minutes into the show. Go ahead, Izzy.
I mean, we don't have to spend much time with it. I'm just over him, and I think I just also said I've never actually been under him. Was never a huge fan. I think he's a little bit sort of tied to Sydney Sweeney somehow because of that movie, and maybe he is trying to become the next It male actor. It's just not it. Okay, he's just not it. I don't really love that, Eli Manning movie that he's doing. Eli already did it. And so I'm just not a huge fan. I don't think he jumps off the screen for me. That's all.
I've got to text you after, Izzy. As part of the Critics' Choice Association, humble brag, not so humble, they send me free things every year along with the screeners. I have a Glenn Powell t-shirt you would absolutely abhor. It's still upstairs. I have to give it to one of my friends, a girl who does love Glenn Powell, unlike yourself. So, I have a great shirt for you, Glenn Powell. Just his face everywhere. Listen, Hitman, I thought was an entertaining movie, good movie on Netflix. He's definitely that it guy. He's just not that into you. That was the film with Sydney Sweeney you're referencing.
Right.
But I hear you. Definitely overexposure. Definitely seems full of himself.
Also, his face is his worst part about him. So I wouldn't put that on the t-shirt.
I got it. You're a good-looking dude. You're cut. Okay, enough. Please go away. Let's see if he actually has any talent with regards to this new football show he has coming out. Can he actually throw a football? Let's find out.
Right.
Next
Right.
question.
He has to be right. It has to be believable. Like there are certain movies throughout the course of time where the football and the football throwing does not look believable. Remember the Titans was believable right up until the final fucking play call. That never happened.
What a play, though. What a play.
I rewatched The Natural, Stu, in honor of Robert Redford passing away. And I got to tell you, my man could play. He went to University of Colorado on a baseball scholarship, played on the same team as Don Drysdale. Forget about Wonder Boy. Redford can hit some bombs, man. And it's a lefty hitting and pitching. Awesome.
Yes. What's your favorite Redford movie? Was it Sting? The Sting?
The Sting is pretty good. Butch Cassidy, that's good. I love. And I just watched 3 Days of the Condor. I'll pick one that he directed. Maybe Izzy's seen it. I don't think Mike A has. Quiz Show with the great John Ciccaro and Rob Morrow. Obviously very good. Ray Fiennes was his first starring role after Schindler's List. He directed it. Morality played with TV. I thought Redford did a great job directing. I rewatched that again. Quiz Show's a good one.
Did you know Harris English was American?
I didn't. I mean, listen, this Ryder Cup business. So you guys will love this, Stu. I'm doing MLB Network. MLB tonight, 2 to 4 yesterday. It's me and the legend Albert Pujols. He might be the greatest right-handed hitter I've ever seen in my life with Yonder Alonso. And you think, oh my God, this is it, right? Baseball heaven. Will your Mets get in? Are the Reds going to get in? Who's going to win the division? Will it be the Yankees for Mike A, the Jays for me? Will the AL Central? They're watching the Ryder Cup. We're going to commercial breaks. What are you guys doing? They go, we're watching the Ryder Cup. We have 12 televisions of baseball, but they're locked into the Ryder Cup, seeing if America can come back. Thrilling television, even at MLB Network.
It's unbelievable with such a big sports weekend and all the things to choose from. Golf won the fucking weekend, man. It did.
Like, I'm trying to watch Eagles Bucks. I go, Eagles, huge first half. Second half, Jalen Yards. We couldn't have one fucking passing in him. What is happening here? Unbelievable. But nobody cares. Ryder Cup. Did you see what DeChambeau just did?
Even though it was a blowout for most of it, they were still watching that. It felt like some of those teams on the 1 o'clock slate were also watching it because the games were not very good. Adnan, I got to throw this out there.
But Izzy, it gained momentum only from this standpoint. You started off Sunday with the United States not having a shot. Right. But as they won each match and they gained momentum, people were leaving whatever it is they were watching or doing and flocking to the Ryder Cup. They just were. The numbers have to be massive on that.
The other thing they were doing, Adnan, was learning about this envelope rule, about why the British or the European team and the American team had to split a point because Victor Hovland had a crick in his neck. And I was thinking about, okay, it's true. All right. I was thinking about different options that you could have. And now think about this one, Adnan. We'll call this, what was the name of the character in White Men Can't Jump?
I don't know.
Which one?
Woody Harrelson's
Woody Harrelson's character, whoever that was. We'll call it the Woody Harrelson rule, right? Where if you have a player who cannot compete, you can pick anybody from the crowd. Imagine the star-studded crowd you would have for that opportunity. Like Steph Curry would be there, probably Marty Fish randomly.
Yeah, but you're asking Steph and Marty to play for Team Europe. I mean,
no. Obviously, Team Europe has its own random people show up and just have to sit in the crowd. And then you're just Billy Hoyle was his name.
Billy Hoyle rule, yeah.
We'll call it the Billy Hoyle rule. And then, think about how amazing that would be. And you could even have, like, I don't know, Tiger Woods in the crowd if you really wanted to. You know, Michael Jordan's there. That would be a terrible pick. But if you really wanted to rev up the crowd, you can play Michael Jordan. I think that's way better than just splitting the point.
Charles Barkley in the crowd. You just open it to tank it. You just don't care.
Yes. An awful celebrity from each continent.
To me, it's either that or you have the captain have to be the alternate. So then choosing the captain becomes very dicey because Keegan Bradley would have been a good alternate. But if it was somebody older, but I like the idea of like Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, if they're the captains, it's just like, hey, maybe he can go out there and play a singles match.
Go ahead, Mikey. Go ahead.
I just have a vision of Keegan Bradley going, "No, man, give him the jump."
Wait, Adnan, let's start here with the rule. Do you like the rule in general where Hovland can be hurt and still get a half points?
No, it's just stupid rules, dude. I mean, as soon as Izzy said a crick in the neck, are you kidding? My ass, a crick in the neck. Good, buddy. Let's go. Come on. Right. This is why people look at golf and go, are you guys sure you cannot be real athletes if you're complaining about a crick in the neck? A half a point? Absurdity. Yeah. You wouldn't get that. I think Ronnie Lott cut his own finger off to continue playing in a football game. I mean, Steve Atwater is literally losing limbs. You couldn't give a shit. He's out there to hit people. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. All right. So you don't like the rule. Did you feel bad for Harris English because his name was the name inside that envelope? And we all knew that Keegan Bradley thought that was his worst player.
It's just a bad poker face in Keegan Bradley. Like, you knew. As soon as he sees the name, he's like, this is what we have to do now. Like, this is what it's become. It's so frustrating with these things. But to your point overall, Stu, you're right. It is amazing. I will say, as a Canadian living in America now 15 years, the jingoistic passion of your country is unbelievable. You're right. You just see USA involved in anything international, anything on a world level. It could be a game of craps, could be a bowling. If USA is playing, people are interested. It's incredible. I love to see it.
It's the only thing that doesn't divide us. I mean, seriously. Just wrap a sporting event in the United States flag, and we're all together. I mean...
If I can just clear my conscience a little bit, we should say that Hovland did actually have an MRI on his neck, and it seemed somewhat serious, at least according to the stories. But again, he was there.
Oh, no, listen, I have no question that Victor Hovland wanted to play. He's a competitor. He's a great golfer. You can't move your neck. You can't move your neck. He spent the entire night in the emergency room. I'm certain Hovland didn't want to go through whatever form of back because people aren't nice on social media. Like, I'm certain that guy wanted to play. Obviously.
Oh, no question. And you're right, Stu. Like, I think about like a true crick in the neck we've all had before. It is pretty awful. Like, if you're sitting next to my left and you ask me a question, I've got to turn my entire body. Like,
worst.
It is actually a terrible feeling.
Worst. Right. You're going to move your whole body over, right?
It's the third thing talking to somebody who has a bad crick in the neck.
He was caught on camera moving his neck, is all I'm saying.
Right. Wait, so you're trying to break down the MLB playoffs, who's winning these pennants, divisions, and Pujols is sitting there watching golf? I mean...
He's locked in staring at the machine. 3-time MVP, 700 home runs, just staring at a little iPhone. Oh, man, what a shot to the rough. Him and Yonder both went to the Ryder Cup on Saturday, the second last day of the Major League Baseball regular season. You guys go watch a game? No, we had to go watch the Ryder Cup. Took over everything in the sports landscape.
What'd you make of the baseball yesterday, and particularly my Mets blowing it against the Marlins?
Dude, what are we doing, man? $340 million payroll, 38-55 since June 13th, which is one of the worst records in baseball.
It's unbelievable.
You have at one point the best record in baseball, and all year it was their offense that really wasn't the issue. Soto at 40-38 season. Alonso's going to opt out. Had a great year, almost 40 homers, 120 ribbies. Lindor's 30-30. They're pitching, man. Sean Manaea, $75 million you gave that guy, and in a must-win game, he was inning in 2/3, a little bit of traffic, he's out of the game. And Alonso hit that rocket with the bases loaded. That's got a 780 expected batting average. Great catch by Sanoha. They lose that game, but honestly, it was their pitching. The starters, how in the hell can you have three rookies you're relying on down the stretch? Nolan McLean was great. Jonah Tong, the pride of Markham, Ontario, had his moments, and Sprout wasn't great on Friday. But Kodai Senga's in the minors, ineffective. Manaea's a bust. Frankie Montas stinks. For $340 million, you're in that position. But overall, the Reds lose. You had a chance. You win one game against the Marlins. You're in the playoffs, and you can't do it. Brutal.
Yeah. And then what do you think about the Marlins saving Sandy for the Mets? And then there's a sound of Keith Hernandez saying, really being pissed off about the Marlins taking a team photo in front of the Mets dugout, calling this their World Series, and them actually sort of acting like it was a big accomplishment.
Keith needs to get over it. It is the World Series. I mean,
listen, the Marlins now, Izzy, 07, 08, and 2025. 3 times they've knocked the Mets out of the playoffs. You do that to a division champ. Of course you should feel good about it. 07, by the way, is still the worst collapse, Stu. 7 games up, 17 games to go. You can never overcome that. This was a long, slow descent into the abyss from June 13th on. But no, I'm pro Marlins, man. You beat a division champion and you do it in your house the 3rd time in 20 years. Good for them.
You celebrate. Yep. You celebrate it. Yep.
Do the Marlins now have 3 World Series titles, technically?
Make it five.
They have 5, right?
3 times knocking out the Mets plus 2 actual World Series.
No one's won more since '97 than the Marlins. I mean,
Stugotz personal record book. I love it. 5 World Series for the Marlins.
And historical context, this for me, how epic is a team like the Mets with all of these expectations coming in? Is this like the worst collapse we've ever seen?
Does it make it worse that the Tigers snuck in and didn't finalize their collapse?
In terms of worst collapses, Mike, I still think the Tigers is worse because it was 15 and a half games lead. That's the biggest division lead ever in baseball history. You're going back to 1914 Boston Braves was 15 games, famously more in our era, the Yankees and Red Sox, Bucky, Bleep, and Dent. That was a 14-game lead, which was overcome. To Izzy's point, it's a little less strong because the Tigers are still in the playoffs. The Astros are just terrible and just beaten up by injuries. There's nothing they could do. So the fact that Detroit is still in the playoffs takes a little bit of the sting off of it, but you still gagged a division lead. For the Mets, it's not as historic because, again, it was a long, slow slide. I guess if you factor in payroll, the $340 million, you say, okay, this has to be one of the great collapses ever. But I think because it was extended over a longer period of time, it won't be remembered the way 64 Phillies was a great collapse or other teams like that. So in terms of history, no, I think people will just look back and go, what happened to the Mets? They were really good early on and they sunk. But I think Mets fans will know how frustrating it could be. And I'm curious what David Stearns and Carlos Mendoza and obviously Steve Cohen are going to do because Alonso's now going to opt out. Do you overpay for him? Do you go get some pitching? We'll see.
Well, they only overpaid for him because they didn't make the playoffs. Had they made the playoffs, they would have paid him exactly the right amount of money because he did have a good year at it.
Exactly. Alonso was great. And, he thought he would get a big contract. Instead, he got a 2-year deal. This was $30 million this year. Now he opts out. Okay, now what's the deal? 5 years, 150. What could it be? I mean, I love Pete. I think he's a great Met. I think he had a fantastic year. But you're right. Now, because you missed the playoffs, the whole family's going, well, you can't lose Pete. He's the one guy who's indispensable.
On the other side of collapsing, how about what the Guardians did in terms of just charging to make the playoffs? That team was out of it a month ago.
So one of my best friends, the great Mike Kiss, who's a huge Detroit Tigers fan, we were texting every day, and he goes, listen, I'm not going to deny my team was a bag of ass in September. He said, but can we at least admit that the Cleveland Guardians were unbelievable? Like, he goes, this run that they were on, and they walk it off yesterday, like, incredible, their amount of talent and just their moxie. I mean, they went 17-2 during this run. If they go 15-4, which is still remarkable, the Tigers win the division. So, yes, did the Detroit Tigers gag and fall apart? Absolutely. Lots of issues. They have one starting pitcher in Turk Skubal, who, by the way, this is the best story, Stu. Imagine if the Tigers, they gag this. Now they're going to face Cleveland in the wild card. Imagine they win this, which is not out of the realm of possibility.
It's baseball.
Yeah, right. Skubal pitches game 1. He shoves. Okay, we're up 1-0. You're going to win one game. The Tigers beat the Guardians. I think that'd be an awesome story. You lose the division, then you beat them in the wild card series. You go to the next round. Or Cleveland wins after going 17-2. Hey, we let you in the playoffs. We're still going to stomp you. They sweep the Tigers in 2 games, and they move on. I think either way, it's an irresistible story. Every single playoff series. Red Sox, Yankees, can't do better than that. Dodgers, Reds, I would have preferred Dodgers, Mets, but still, I got the Dodgers in the playoffs. I'm watching Shohei Ohtani pitch for the first time as a Dodger in the playoffs. I think Padres, Cubs is a whale of a series. 2 great markets, 2 great fan bases, star power with Machado, Tatis, Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, PCA. And then we got Tigers, Guardians, a good grudge match. This will be great.
On the other side of what the Mets did, their collapse, do you think the Brewers fucking absolutely handed those games to the Reds? I mean, Jesus Christ, can you try? I mean,
we had Pat Murphy on the network yesterday, and I kind of said to Pat, Murph is a great guy, by the way. He had pancakes for breakfast yesterday. He's really become quite the celebrity there in Wisconsin.
Classic Murph, yeah.
I said, how hard? I'm shocked you're pitching Freddie Peralta today. I said, he's the only 17-game winner in the National League, and you got everything wrapped up. And Murph kind of gives a chuckle. He's like, well, we'll see what we're going for out there. I think he pulled him in the 3rd inning. He clearly didn't give a shit about the game. We're already locked into the 1 seed. I mean, the fact that the Reds couldn't win that game is even more embarrassing. You're facing a Milwaukee team with nothing to play for, and you lost 4-2. You gift wrapped it to the Mets, and they couldn't score against the Marlins, who won their World Series.
Right. Stu, do you actually know?
The Brewers were hovering over the weekend. I mean,
do you actually know this Murphy, or is every Murphy a Murph to you?
I've never met him.
That does classic Murph stuff.
Every Murphy is a Murph. There's no doubt about it. And the Brewers are that team nobody believes in, and he knows it. I said, do you realize nobody? He goes, I got it. Everyone's picking the Dodgers. Everyone's picking the Phillies. We won more games than anybody else. Fine, we'll take it.
Going back to your point on the Tigers, I'm not going to be surprised if the Tigers win the fucking World Series. That's how random baseball is, okay?
But let's go back to last year. So last year, they're terrible. They go on this incredible run, and they win a playoff series, get to ALDS. So you're right. Why not flip the script? So they continue their momentum, have this unbelievable run, then hit the skids, but then flip it back up again. Like there's no rhyme or reason to it. Everybody says, oh, look at the finances. The Brewers are like 25th in payroll. They had the most wins in baseball. Like you have no idea what's going to happen. Could it be Dodgers, Yankees again? Sure. Could be Brewers, Blue Jays, the 2-1 seats. That could happen as well. Very unpredictable. As Billy Beane famously said, the A's president, general manager, my shit doesn't work in the playoffs. It's a crapshoot. You have no idea what's going to happen.
Right. What do we think about Adnan's friend using the phrase "a bag of ass"? It's the first time I've heard it. I like the let's just say subtle switch from the normal bag full of genitals. But I think it's cool. It's like a unisex thing. It doesn't it could be anything. And I think I like it. Could be good, could be bad though. Not gonna lie.
Right. Imagine the visual stimulation of that. Is you just a bag of asses?
A bag of asses. Yes.
Like Santa's walking around just a bag of asses over his shoulder.
Why would Santa be walking around with a bag of asses?
That stinks.
I understand. You were searching for someone who carries around the bag.
Exactly right. It was that guy. Who would be someone with a bag? Santa. Santa would take a bag of asses. What? Here's your heaping of coal, kid. Bag of asses.
You did the thing that drives me crazy about Philadelphia Eagles fans. Hurts couldn't complete a fucking pass in the second half. They're 4-0 and they beat everyone. I mean,
how about this stat, Stu? 20 of 21 the Eagles have won, and there's still some Eagles fans calling for Nick Sirianni's head.
It's
Think
crazy.
About that. And people they're like, hey, what about Patullo on these offensive calls? I'm like, we were up. We scored 31 points. We were dominating in the first half. Okay, what just leave in the second half? It's fine. It happens. The defense stepped up. Jahad Campbell, huge interception. Like, no, Patullo's going to go. He's had 4 games as an offensive coordinator, and we're 4-0. It's crazy.
And it took 2 bombs from Baker that to actually get anything going, because outside of those 2 70+ yard passes, I think his longest pass completion was like 12 yards.
Right. The topic on First Take, it was like, can the Eagles fix this offense? What do they need to lose? What do they need to fix? What are you talking about?
They scored 33 against the Rams.
Saquon Barkley in a slump right now. Who gives a shit? They're winning.
Wait till he gets hot.
Jets Dolphins tonight. How does it feel, Stu? Going up against, you live in Miami, your team, critical game.
Why talk about it?
Yeah, well, no. Why air it? I mean,
that's Monday Night Football. But also, is Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, or is their man Joe Buck calling that, or is he calling the Bengals Broncos?
I was going to say,
calling
didn't
Bengals Broncos. He was on with us a couple of weeks ago. He got Bengals Broncos, thankfully.
It's like
now he thought Burrow was going to be healthy at that point. But
right. So no Joe Burrow, and you're calling Bengals Broncos. That's not
Yeah.
Dolphins are going to be wearing those black uniforms, so that's kind of something to think about. But there really isn't anything to discuss in that game. I want to ask Adnan
No,
about
this is the
another New York
Dolphins Super
quarterback,
Bowl,
if
Izzy.
that's
Much
okay.
like the Marlins beating the Mets, this is the Dolphins Super Bowl. Can they get the Jets to go 0-4? The Dolphins are going to treat this game very seriously. They're going to win and win by a lot of money. You heard it from me here first.
They're going to win by a lot of money
over the weekend gambling.
that's exactly what the Dolphins are going to do. And then they're going to realize afterward, oh, shit, we should have lost that game.
Yes.
So it's just the worst game possible to talk about. Jackson Dart, however, is a quarterback that people are interested in New York, and he can dance a little bit.
Yeah.
Adnan, what do you think?
Well, it's interesting. We work in Secaucus, New Jersey. Literally, I'm minutes from the Meadowlands. So all I cared about is beating that Giants traffic on the way home.
I think that's how you
after Albert Wilson was done watching the Ryder Cup. But it's funny just how quickly the bloom falls off Russell Wilson. I'm like, wait, you pay this guy $10 million? Like, yeah, 3 games and he sucks. Yeah, Russ is cooked. Like, we'll probably be available for the November trade deadline. I'm like, well, I think he's available if he's been benched after 3 weeks. Who the hell's going to trade for him? And Jackson Dart, people love this guy. I swear to God, I took the kids to school. I'm seeing Jackson Dart jerseys. I go, hang on a second. 1 win. You beat the Chargers. Nice victory. I got it. But no, we're all in on Dart. I'm like, I remember all these people losing their mind for Daniel Jones, who now has somehow resurrected his career with the Colts. So we'll see. But Jackson Dart, so far, people seem to be in love with this kid.
Yeah, I was up at Syracuse University visiting my daughter, and so most of the parents of the kids who go to Syracuse and they're from the Long Island area, they're from the Connecticut area. So I had this guy next to me who I didn't know, by the way, and he said, and he just blurted out to me, we're drinking early in the morning, we're tailgating for the big Syracuse Duke game, and so he kind of nudges me and he says, so I told my wife. Wheels on the road, 7 a.m. tomorrow. I got to check me out some Jackson Dart.
Yes.
I said, my name's John.
Just out of nowhere. He goes right to just assuming you're a Giants guy, that you'll commiserate, you'll appreciate. Like, I don't give a shit.
Yes, but I understood exactly what he was saying. He's excited because he has a flashy new toy, and that new toy might be the toy for the next 15 to 20 years, and he wanted to go see Jackson Dart. A new quarterback will always excite a fan base. You know that.
No question about it. And going back to our point, my buddy Mike's bag of ass comment, I like the wheels on the road. That's a pretty good one, too. Just
like that?
wheels on the road. Like, you feel the squeal of the tires. He's telling his wife, we're going to go watch Jackson Dart.
Screeching out of his daughter's
Adnan, don't do that to Jackson Dart. Don't bring up Daniel Jones in comparison, okay? Because I think yesterday, probably in both the interceptions he threw to that same dude, who are they playing?
Chargers.
No, the Colts were not. Who were the Colts playing?
Oh, the Colts were playing the Rams.
Yeah. The Rams. Thank you. He threw the same, and it was a safety on one side and on the other side, same pass, and he stared down the throw the entire time and got picked off and was the reason why they couldn't pull that game out. Jackson Dart is a baller, and he is not as stiff as Daniel Jones. I said he can dance because that end zone, I think they call it the Flauta dance. It's in short for Florida, Flauta. I don't really understand it. I'm a little old, but that dude is no Daniel Jones, man.
True. He definitely has more athleticism and more moves than Daniel Jones. But we'll see if he can match the hype. I just can't believe the Colts were actually unbeaten going into yesterday. Daniel Jones resurrected.
No, and they played well. I mean, in a tough spot to play. I mean, he was fine.
But he came back and showed you why you can't really trust in Daniel Jones. And it's some of the simpler things like that, like both situations. You got to look off that safety. Otherwise, he's just going to read your eyes the entire time. And that was a crucial spot, obviously.
Right. Just like Tua.
He's the worst.
Level of concern over the Ravens, 1-3. Mikey A, go ahead. Shit on this Ravens.
Well, I don't know if the Chiefs beat a good team yesterday. I have no idea. I can't tell you if they're back or not. I don't know. Are the Ravens good?
Imagine this Ravens team goes 6-11. Like, that would be unbelievable. Like, wow. For years, you just expect the Ravens are always great, consistently great. Oh, model run franchise. No. This could be it. 1-3. You're not making the playoffs.
How soon some people are feeling pressure about John Harbaugh or he's feeling pressure because I've been saying it for a minute. He needs to go.
I like it. Out on John Harbaugh. For years, he's been the dude. Everyone loves him. Is he the first one to criticize John Harbaugh? I like it. The bloom is up. Glenn Powell.
How many teams would fire their head coach if the Ravens fired John Harbaugh today?
At least 7. Like, if John Harbaugh's available, 7 teams. Like, that's it. Our guys, we're taking Harbaugh. That's fine. We'll take it. I think at least 7.
I think more, if I'm being honest. I mean, the Jets would get rid of their coach today, right? I mean, the Jets would get rid of Aaron Glenn today. Yeah, for John Harbaugh. I'm trying to figure out where we could draw the line. Like, where's the team that we're going to find that's going to say,
right?
Like Shane Steichen, is he gone today if Harbaugh wants the Colts job? Like, he is.
Yes, he's gone.
He would be an upgrade for a lot of teams, like probably even more than 7, which is a random number Adnan pulled out of his bag of ass. Right. But it's still not going to be the guy that's going to put you over the top like this. I know he's won one. I know this. Once. Yes. But he has shown you time and again that maybe he should have done it more often because it's not doing it with this team. And I don't know what the main problem is. They obviously have the pieces, but there's some frustration going on there, and he's going to be the one that takes the blame. He has to be. Chargers fire their head coach for the Ravens.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
That'd be a badass move. Can you imagine that? That would break a family, I think.
Brother to brother. Who's got to with us?
Promote the book and everything going on MLB Network before you get out of here.
I appreciate Stu. Cinephile, once again, available everywhere. Essays, interviews, and tales from the red carpet, wherever books are sold. I have a meeting with Mango this week, by the way. They're going to tell me how the book is doing, what we can do to improve. So I will report back to you guys if I'm desperate for more books to be sold or if we're killing it. But bottom line is we're definitely going to have a book signing coming up in December. You, me, Izzy, Mike, whoever's available. It's going to be great.
Listen, the key to the book meeting, and I love Mango Publishing, is they're never going to tell you first meeting you're killing it. They always want you to keep selling books, okay? I can tell you what's going to happen in that meeting before you go to the meeting, okay?
No chance to go, hey, you're killing it. You sold 3,000 books. Everybody wins. It's going to be underperforming in some key demographics. We look at the 18 to 34, make a more bigger social media push. No problem.
No, you killing it might very well be the case. They're just not going to tell you, okay?
That's a good point. See? Couple of authors cut it up. Stu knows from experience. That's a good move by you. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you, buddy. Tell Poulos to pay attention, okay?
Can I
Next Ryder Cup, just think of Albert Pujols. Go ahead, Izzy.
can I apologize to Daniel Jones real quick because I totally forgot that was it Adonai Mitchell who failed to cross the end zone with the football. That maybe would have been a different ball game.
I'm going to edit the entire part out. I got to be honest.
Indiana Jones resurrected. Thank you, boys.
Still no Jackson Dart.